I'm excited about this one. So we are going to be talking about this a lot, but aiming for perfect meals, for perfect workouts, for perfect days on this journey is not going to happen. So to begin with, perfect days. They have to go. Immediately, they have to go. I once had a client early on who told me that immediately when she ate something bad, she would then binge for the rest of the day and the day would be a total write-off. Now, honestly, this broke my heart because our days on this planet are numbered. So why on earth are we giving up on any of them? And also, and I suppose more importantly, it just doesn't reflect the science behind how our bodies work. So it's totally unnecessary. So your health and your fitness are accumulatory, which means largely that the more good you do, kind of regardless of the bad, the better. So it is always going to be better for you, for your health, for your fitness, to add in the good, rather than focusing at all on taking out the bad. You have to remember you cannot have perfection with wellness. There are just way too many variables. You're not completely in control of any aspect of your life. Look, you've got responsibilities. You have requirements which are expected of you. And if you try and keep all of this going with a rule-based wellness plan, you are setting yourself up for total failure, which is absolutely not what we want, right? So you have to let go of the idea of perfect days. And to do this, you need to start working away from the idea of good or bad, of healthy or treat, of workout or lazy. And you have to move towards using language which is actually going to serve you and help you to reach your goals. Look, if you want to feel good at the end of the day, you need to feel balanced and at peace. And that just isn't going to happen if you're still dealing with the concept that you did something wrong if you didn't have the perfect wellness day. Look, for example, let's say tomorrow you did everything right, but it was your friend's birthday and you had a piece of cake at the birthday party. Old you is going to tell you that that still constitutes something wrong. You're going to go to bed convinced that you didn't have the perfect day because you had the bit of birthday cake and therefore it was a bad day. You're totally ignoring the fact that you worked out, you drank water, you nourished yourself really well. You're ignoring all of the good that you did. So we have to get rid of this notion that food can be inherently good or bad. Absolutely, some food is more nutritious than others. And similarly, some food tastes great and some just doesn't. And you're not even yet factoring in what you like or dislike. But if you keep labeling food as good or bad, if you continue to see some foods as treats or some as healthy and boring foods, then you are constantly going to be battling against what you think you want versus what you think you should have. The want versus the should. Intuitive eating takes away this issue, and you're going to learn so much more about intuitive eating in Module 2. You're going to learn that what your body wants and what it needs to thrive, which is a really healthy way of thinking about this should, is the same thing. Your body wants to thrive. It wants to survive. We're a species that wants to survive. Your body constantly is fighting for survival and to thrive. And it is constantly sending you messages about what it needs to do this. So really, in order to support your wellness, you just have to give your body what it's asking for. And therefore, there really can't be bad foods if it's something your body wants. Right? This makes sense. Okay? Because inevitably we're going to be talking about what we're eating, it helps me to avoid using language which doesn't serve me. And the way I do that is by being super specific about how I feel about what I'm eating, if I absolutely need to describe it for some reason. For example, I will say things like, this chocolate brownie makes me feel really good, it's delicious, rather than saying, this chocolate brownie is such a treat. I know it sounds quite prescriptive at the beginning, but these little changes will make a difference. So you can say things like, I feel like my body is craving something fresh and crunchy, but I also fancy the comfort of pasta, rather than, I feel like I should eat that salad, but I don't want to, I want pasta. I know it's a small change, but really getting used to that distinction between foods by how they make you feel, rather than giving them this arbitrary value that they honestly just don't deserve, like good or bad, that is going to make a big difference to you finishing your day and not spiraling about the bad things you did or didn't do. And here is just another way you can help yourself out as well. If you're still getting to the end of the day and you're spiraling about the bad things, why don't you just write down the good things instead? Why don't you write down your wins? I'm absolutely not going to sit here and tell you to journal every day, because I don't. If you do, great. But if you don't, on those days where you just can't get the bad moments out of your head, just take a second on those days to write down everything you did do. Everything you can think of, however big or small. I promise you, when you're lying in bed, it's going to help you reframe your day. But this stuff is hard. We are undoing a really, really long history of blame, of guilt, of punishment surrounding food. We're undoing decades of diet culture. So it's not going to be enough just to decide to change your language overnight. But you do need to focus on tomorrow and be realistic about the fact that you just have to try. If you wanted to work out today, but things happened which meant it wasn't possible, you refocus on tomorrow. You refocus on working out then. If you got yourself into a guilt spiral today about eating that lovely chocolate brownie I keep going back to, maybe I'm craving it, then you get into bed tonight and you think, tomorrow I'm going to reframe that chocolate brownie as something that's going to bring me comfort. And I'm going to really enjoy it, and I'm not going to let it guilt me out. But focusing on tomorrow seriously comes with a caveat here, because we do this in a sense already, but we do this in a sense with the punishment cycle. And that's not what this is about. If you're getting into bed thinking, I didn't work out today, I'll work out tomorrow, and actually, you know what, I'll do double to make up for it. This is just more of the same bad habits we're trying to get you out of. Because inevitably, the double workout tomorrow isn't going to happen, and that will create another failure in your mind, and the guilt cycle continues. But look, there really is no avoiding the fact that the concept of perfect days needs to disappear for you. No more perfect days needed, okay? They are not serving you. Wellness is perfect when it happens and it makes you feel good. Full stop. Wellness is perfect when you get into bed and smile because of all the ways you have served your body through just living your life that day. And wellness is perfect when it's not a chore, when it doesn't make you feel guilty and it's not a punishment. This lesson is about reframing what you used to think of as perfect days into perfect wellness being just wellness that makes you feel great. And ultimately, that has to be enough. And if you can make this mindset shift in your life, you are going to unlock the next level of progress. This has been a lot today, and we're trying to undo, as I said, a lot of years of negative thinking, a lot of years of learned behaviors. So for today, just absorb this lesson and maybe come back to it again if anything isn't just sitting right with you, if there is a concept which is a little bit unclear. You can always listen again and see what resonates with you this time, but don't force it. Just aim to let this lesson change your mind a little bit about what perfect wellness looks like, and just practice moving forward using language that is going to serve you better in your wellness journey. And I'll see you next lesson.